Hey there everybody, it's Raven Azrael and welcome to Raven Azrael's Persona channel, where we discuss all things Persona related. Now, in today's video is the third episode of our Addressing the Hate video series. And I'm really surprised when I got this as a request, but I gotta do it. You guys request your wishes on my command, so here's the Addressing the Hate video for the man, Junpei Iori. Why do you guys do this to me? I love Junpei. Before we actually get on to the actual addressing the hate, I just want to say you have every right to dislike a character because that is within your rights. You can dislike a character. However, this video aims to create more understanding and more cohesion between the members of the fandom because, guys, we argue more than we're supposed to. You know, I mean, yeah, we argue way too much about stuff like this. And yeah, I just do these videos for both parties so that both parties can understand each other's views. But yeah, thank you guys. And Lego. Okay, enough screwing around. So Junpei Iori first appears in Persona 3 for the PlayStation 2. And the main character first meets him in Gekkoukan High School, where Junpei greets him and explains that he was a transfer student not too long ago and that he can empathize with the protagonist's situation. Pretty good start, and at this point I think every player, when they play it, they're like, there's the comic relief character. And I personally do not like to think him as just a comic relief character. I think he can be so much more than that if you give him the chance to be. I had to adjust the camera a bit just now because it was showing my bed. But yeah, so let's get started on the reasons why Junpei Iori is hated in the Persona fandom. I have literally, if you guys have been keeping up with my Twitter, I have literally scoured the depths of the internet. Like, I went on Google and I was like in page 20 something by the end of the night. Like, I was proper researching and I was looking for stuff all over Tumblr, I was looking for stuff all over YouTube videos, I was looking stuff all over Google, and I was, that was a really, really exhausting research night. But based on the stuff that I did find, I realized that a lot of the reasons behind a hate towards a character usually goes around the same lines. So it's the same thing for Junpei, and it goes along the same lines, and I'm going to start with one of them. And a few of the reasons why Junpei is hated by Persona players is that, one, he is annoying. Two, it's difficult to like him because he always gets jealous of your main character. He's annoying. I don't know if I just said that. As well as he is I don't know why the words are not coming out. But basically because there's no use for his character, like he goes through zero character development. And of course, I'm going to be addressing each of these reasons, so let's go. Now, when you say a character is annoying, it really boils down to preference. I enjoy Junpei. I think his sense of humor brought a bit more, gave a little bit more of a cheerful atmosphere to the already dark Persona 3. Persona 3 is a really dark storyline in contrast to Persona 4. And that was also one of the main reasons why I liked the game so much, is because it was much more darker than Persona 4. But because of how dark it is, if you do not have a character with as bright a personality as Junpei's, you're gonna be having to deal with all these dark elements coming at you, and it's gonna be really unsettling. And I really like Junpei's cheerful attitude, but then again, it boils down to preference. If you think he's annoying, I can't really do anything about that, can I? But it just boils down to preference. Do you like funny characters who are funny like Junpei is, or do you prefer if like he didn't act that way? Yeah, that's one. The second reason as to why Junpei is hated is because he's always constantly jealous of the main character. Now, I know in the game, when you are in control as the character, and I understand this because when I played the game, when he was jealous of me, I was like, yo, dude, I didn't do anything, okay? But Tsuru gave me the job, and I'm sure a lot of you guys felt the same way. And I totally get it, I totally understand it. And it kind of seems like his jealousy was coming out of nowhere and yeah, it's just totally uncalled for. And I agree that, but you must also take note that at this point, Atlas, it was, I mean, they've always had silent protagonists, and their personality is completely based on how you interpret it and how you take it further. However, I believe when Atlas was creating the Persona 3 protagonist, they had a set characteristic in their minds. And this is evident throughout the game, especially in when he listens to Tanaka's soundtrack. He's like, oh my god, this annoying song. But Yu Narukami is like, oh, it's a cheerful song. Yeah, so you can already see the contrast, the set contrast of a personality, even if it's in his designs and the way he perceives things. It's clearly outlined, and I think Atlas was working on that set, but they didn't really execute it properly, especially when it came to the source of Junpei's jealousy. But this was properly done, well done, in Persona 3 Spring of Birth. If you guys haven't watched this film, what have you been doing all your life? Go and watch it. If you're a Persona fan, you need to watch that film because it's brilliant. It's absolutely, the animation's gorgeous, the storytelling is brilliant, and I loved it. You need to watch it. You have to. You just need to watch it, okay? And where was I? Yeah. In Spring of Birth, Junpei's character was explored much better. Like, they properly went to the source of his jealousy. So, this is how it goes. Junpei thinking like, yeah, I finally have something worthwhile. And do take note of his background story. And of course, this interlinks to another point I'm going to make soon in a few more minutes. But I'll just say it now. A lot of people, as we know in Persona 3 Portable, Junpei has a very negative father figure in his life, and that has obviously affected him. And obviously he probably has a really low self-esteem because he has to constantly go through that, and because of that he comes to school, he jokes around, he's friendly with everyone, trying to escape that little that shadow of negativity in his life. And now he finally gets the power of Persona. He's leaving the house. He's going to stay with the dorm. He's actually doing something special, and it kind of looks like, yeah, my life is about to change. I'm going to make something of myself. I'm going to be a hero. And I'm pretty sure like that was something he really liked, and that was probably why he agreed to the gig in the first place. And then this guy, who in Spring of Birth was completely nonchalant, he didn't care about anything, he only did stuff because he was asked to, he was completely cold, and in fact he wasn't even cold, he was just emotionless, and that's very unsettling for someone like Junpei, for anyone exactly. It even unsettled Yukari, and you can see it in both of them that they were very disturbed with the main character's personality, because that was what the main character was. He was blank. He did stuff because people asked him to. He didn't have a drive or anything. He was just this empty shell, and Junpei was very unsettled by that. And not only is he already unsettled by that, but then suddenly this guy is really strong and everyone relies on him. And let's be honest, as the character in Persona 3, in the Spring of Birth movie, if you looked at him, he's not exactly a leader type. A leader type is someone who inspires, who leads. He was just, I'm gonna do stuff if they ask me to do it. I'm not gonna care. He was that blank, and obviously Junpei was a bit like, wait, why him? He clearly is not a leader. You must be, when you watch this, you must tell yourself to set yourself away as the main character. You must not look at the main character as a reflection of yourself, because a lot of people have done that because we played the game, but look at him as a character in himself and how Junpei views of him. And that's why Junpei is very unsettled by him, and because of all these negative traits about the main character, he becomes jealous. Like, why not me? I can clearly do that, but why is he always chosen to lead the thing? And obviously then this boils down to the time when they went to the second boss. Well, I'm gonna say second, it's technically the first boss, but it's the second boss, the priestess Shadow. and they take her down. But obviously Junpei puts the party in a lot of danger, and a lot of people criticize him for that. And I do agree, he was reckless, but you know, there was a reason behind it. It wasn't just like, I'm gonna be reckless for the heck of it, but he was reckless, and I think that's also a source of hate. Also despise Junpei for having little to no development as a character. However, if you're going to actually do that for Junpei, you're gonna have to say that for a lot of the male characters in Persona 3. You're gonna have to say that about Akihiko. You're gonna have to say that about Shinjiro. You're gonna have to say that about Ken. And I know that's one of the main reasons why Ken is despised anyway. And you have to say it for Mitsuru as well. I mean, they did explore Mitsuru to an extent, but they didn't really explore the proper depth which they could have, and I wish they did. And like, let's face it, like, I can understand when you say he has really little to no development, and this is the fault of the execution of the original Persona 3. You see, in the original Persona 3, if you guys have only played Persona 3 Portable, in the original Persona 3, you don't actually have a social link with the male members of your party. Like, you don't meet up with Shinjiro, you don't meet up with Akihiko, you don't meet up with Junpei, you don't meet up with Ken. You don't know anything about these guys, but you meet up with all the female characters, and you meet with the friends in school. And I think, I don't know why Atlas did that, I'm not too sure, but that's how it was in Persona 3, and I think that is the main source of why there is no proper character development in Junpei. I mean, like, you don't know a lot about his past, and then suddenly when you play Persona 3, you get, oh, by the way, he's got a terrible father. Okay. Which I think was really interesting. I liked how they explored him in Persona 3 Portable using the female character, but I wished there was proper exploration with in the original using the male character. However, this is again rectified in Spring of Birth, as I've explained earlier. They actually go to the source of his jealousy, and if you say he has no character development at all, I'm going to have to disagree with you, because he actually does develop as a character. He starts off as this reckless, immature, character who's jealous of the main character, comic relief, la-di-da-di-da, to a mature character who actually has something he really cares about and he wants to protect with all his life. And adding Chidori to the storyline, giving Junpei Chidori, actually made him into a stronger character. He met up with Chidori. Obviously, his jealousy comes out. He shines in through there as well, where he tries to impress her, gets himself into trouble, and of course another pure example of his recklessness. But because of the existence of Chidori, he actually becomes the means for C's to get information from Strega. Think about it this way: if he had never met Chidori, and if he had never been quite as stupid as to, give her a contact number, they wouldn't have been able to capture Chidori, they wouldn't have been able to find out stuff about Strega. He actually develops and he becomes useful. And think about it this way: I mean, Junpei he was completely immature, and I'm sure a lot of us will agree he was quite immature at the beginning of the game, but then towards the end you see him taking responsibility. You actually feel for him, especially when he loses Chidori. You feel for him, and you just go, wow, he's grown. Junpei has grown, and he's one of those characters where there's a stark difference from when they were at the end of the game and when they were at the beginning of the game. Stark difference. He begins to care about something, he fights for that, and he's no longer this rash and irrational boy. He stopped becoming just the comedic character and actually becomes the man that he always wanted to be. And I think that is beautiful in itself. I forgot to mention this earlier, but another reason why Junpei is disliked as a character is because some Persona gamers have perceived him to be perverted and disrespectful to women. I never actually thought I would actually come across this. This is the first time I actually got a reason like this. So, it's about approaching it. And yes, in the game, Junpei is portrayed as being very, I want to say flirtatious. He is sort of perverted, but not in, it was, I don't know how am I gonna, I mean, he does, like for example, he teases Yukari when she's trying to go up the train, and I consider that banter and teasing, but nothing more than that. I don't think he that's the word. He doesn't want to objectify women. Because if he did that, then he wouldn't have such strong feelings for Chidori and the way he looks at Chidori. He doesn't objectify women. I think this whole perverted thing is kind of like what Atlas is trying to show is like, you know, a lot of teenage guys. I'm not saying all teenage guys, disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. I'm not saying all teenage guys are perverted. I'm just saying, you know, thoughts cross your mind, hormones rage, biochemistry. You know, it's all about stuff like that. And he, and a lot of examples these people use is during the bath scene in Persona 3. And I don't know, I mean, if you're gonna say Junpei objectifies women, I think Teddy does that more than Junpei. I think Yosuke and Teddy in Persona 4 do that more than Junpei does. Like, it's really hard. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, you can tell he doesn't objectify women by the way he treats Chidori. Chidori has literally become his life. He was in love with this girl. He wasn't in love with her, just her beauty or just how amazing her assets are. No, he saw her and he was like, wow. And then he got to know her and he was like, whoa. And then she does these amazing things for him and he feels so protective of her, and then he's madly in love with her, and when he loses her, that has to be one of the most heartbreaking points in the game, was when he loses her and his persona fuses with hers. It was just amazing planning from Atlas. That was just beautiful symbolism right there. And it clearly shows he doesn't objectify women. He doesn't see women as just objects for sexual desires. He sees them as women. He sees them as people. I mean, he may joke and he may banter, he may tease, but he doesn't mean it to be. He doesn't objectify them. Objectifying women is just seeing them as a tool to an end or something like that, and he does not do that. He doesn't. However, it all boils down to interpretation. If you interpret it that way, I really don't know. But yeah, Junpei does not, based on the evidence that I see and in my humble opinion, he does not objectify women. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching this video. This is the third episode of Addressing the Hate. I want to actually thank you guys so much for the increase in subscribers. I mean, I need to thank you guys. I need to thank you for sharing me with your friends, and it's brilliant. And thank you for helping the channel grow. Please comment down below your thoughts, and if you guys know any reasons as to why Junpei is hated, please put it down below, because I've scoured the internet. I couldn't find anything worth it. I don't know if I was just looking in the wrong places, but if you guys have a reason which hasn't been stated in the video, please let me down in the comments below. And if you guys do not have anything to add, if you want to make requests, do comment those down below. Be it an Addressing the Hate video, a simple discussion, anything. I do literally anything Persona related, and your wish is my command, and I'm really looking forward to doing more videos that you guys request. And do like the video if you like Junpei the man. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing this video. much shorter than my Yukari video, I have to say, but I really enjoy this. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant journey, and thank you guys so very much for watching this, and I hope you have an amazing day. My next video, I have not begun filming for Naoto's sexuality yet, because I'm looking for an opportunity to meet up with a special guest, and hopefully if I can meet up with our guest, then maybe we can have a proper discussion, and it'll be much different from the videos that I've already done. So thank you guys so very much for watching this, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Do subscribe, because I make a bunch of videos Persona related.